What are you talking about?
All your questions will be answered.
Welcome to the world of
Cinéma.
That's our tape.
Welcome to That's Our Take, where we, the Jacksons, discuss many of the over 12,000 movies we have seen with a focus on classic cinema. With this being Oscar season, Lara and I thought that we would talk about previous Oscar winners for Best Picture and who we thought actually deserved that award. So we're going to dive right in and first talk about the very first Academy Awards ceremony, which was held in 1929, and um, they were considering movies from 2 years before, so 1927 and 1928. And so there's this idea that the movie Wings actually won for Best Picture. The actual category was Best Picture Production, and there was another movie that came out at the same time called Sunrise. The full title is Sunrise: A Song of Two Humans, and it won uh, Best Unique and Artistic Picture, which was sort of a second Best Picture category. So over the years, Wings has been the one that has carried the title as the actual Best Picture winner. My question is, between these two movies, between Wings and Sunrise, what do you think? Do you think Wings deserved it? Do you think Sunrise did?
I feel it should have gone to Sunrise just because for me the story's more memorable. Um which isn't always a good thing, right? Sometimes we remember the good things that we like and sometimes we remember those we don't like. But for me the story is just so much better for Sunrise that's what I think it should have gone to.
So I want to touch on what you said. Sometimes we remember the things we don't like. So the boys asked me the other day. I was our second oldest. He asked, "What is your least favorite movie?" And I'm going to tell you, a whole flood of movies that I don't like came to mind because I remembered them so strongly. So yeah, you're right. Sometimes a memorable movie doesn't always mean a good movie.
For sure.
But I'm with you on Sunrise. I love Wings. I think it is an amazing movie and definitely deserved the nomination and probably deserved Best Picture. But when compared to Sunrise, I don't know. I just feel like Sunrise really deserved it more. Like you said, it's because it's so much more memorable, and I think the story, like you said, I think the story's a little better. Wings is broad, right? It's really this this epic of a movie, and it's got a good story. Where Sunrise is not as epic. It's actually very intimate. It's very small
Yes, I totally agree.
and has such heart to it.
I
Um,
think that's what's different between the two. The biggest thing is heart. And when you first watch this movie and see it for the first time, and before anything really happens, you're going to think, heart, you two are nuts. But I promise you, it has a lot of heart to the film. And it actually leaves you feeling pretty happy, in my opinion. Um, so I don't know. But I wouldn't say they completely got it wrong, but if I could build a time machine and go back, I would say you guys got to choose, and it's Sunrise.
yeah. What do you think? I just want to ask real quick. What do you think about this two Best Picture categories? One is the Best Picture Production, and the other one being the unique and artistic picture.
Um, I think it's a bunch of hooey. I think it's just trying to, like I said, um, skirt around picking something. And so they made one and said, this one's the best production and this one's the best artistic,
Mm,
which I think are two sides of the same coin.
yeah.
And so I think it was just because they're like, oh, it's our first year. We don't want to tick people off.
Yeah.
Let's pick two.
Yeah. I'm gonna say you've convinced me because I've thought that yeah, two categories is really good, but you're right. They just need to pick. But it does kind of bring to mind, what do you think about them doing places?
First place, second place,
Yeah,
third place.
yeah.
Maybe I would have to see a real strong thing, because the one thing I don't like about places is if three movies go in, there's an automatic third. Uh, so automatically someone's going to win second and someone's going to win third, and you're going to think, oh, I'm the third best. But honestly, it could have been a pile of poo,
Mm-hmm.
and you're the third best.
Yeah,
So I don't know if I like the place option at all.
yeah.
I kind of like the all or nothing. I like there being an upset. I think an upset's a good thing if it's done correctly, where it's like, oh man, that movie was really good, and so was this movie. So, like this year, I would have said, for the year we're talking about currently, that could have been an upset, right? Wings and Sunrise, both really good. And on a different day, I may be feeling something different and completely disagree with myself. I highly doubt it when it comes to this film, but I could.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's a good upset, right? That's one that makes me go back and forth. I like to be able to ponder and question things in different light and different situations. But um I doubt it with this film that I would do that. But there may be others where I would do that. And so I kind of like this idea. I don't like it when movies sweep.
Oh, really?
I hate it.
Really? Okay. Why is that?
I don't believe one movie could be that good to sweep every
That it just
category
knocks them all out.
that it is better than some other movie.
So we'll see because Sinners has the record-breaking 16 nominations this year. And I'm not well read. I don't know how it did at the Golden Globes. But I'd be interested now.
Well, let's go to one a little more recent. Oh, I don't think we talked about it. What year did Titanic win?
97.
Oh, so we did talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, talk about sweeping. Titanic swept, and it got like, I don't remember, 7 to 11. I can't remember. It got a lot of.
Yeah, I can look it up here in a second. But yeah, it
It was a sweeping movie. But having gone back and looked at what other movies came out that year, I don't think it deserved to be in the place it ended up.
the one that took it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was up against As Good as It Gets, The Full Monty, Good Will Hunting, and LA Confidential. And what was the one that you felt should have?
So in my opinion, I think Good Will Hunting should have uh won it. And you would think it's because I'm gonna say the story's more memorable, but it's not. And the reason I say it, the reason I pick this one is because of the heart of the story, the newness of the story, or I should say the new way in which a kind of older story is told. Um, the end is both happy and sad. Um, I like that. The end to Titanic's annoying for multiple reasons, but we're not here to talk about Titanic specifically. Um, even if there was room on the piece of floating wood. And she had the stupid necklace with her the whole time and they just threw it in the ocean. But whatever. The old lady's a villain. Um, so I would go with Good Will Hunting, but here's the thing. Titanic should still have won things. I just don't think it should have won Best Picture. And then when you list the other movies, there's As Good as It Gets. Great film too. Um, I was dating a guy who loved that movie a lot, and I was not as big of a film, not as big as a film. I was not as big as a fan of that film as he was, but I could see where he was coming from, and I think definitely deserved something, and it could have won something, but I doubt it did.
No, it did. Nicholson won
Okay, because that's who I
Yeah.
think he should have won.
and Helen Hunt won.
And Helen Hunt won.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that choice there. Um, but definitely I would have given it to him. But Good Will Hunting should have been the best film, and I would have given the actress actually to Kate Winslet from Titanic. I think she
Yeah.
did a really good job portraying her
Yeah.
role. Um, she's charismatic. She comes across well as the person who is not acquainted with life but is very curious about life. And I really liked her portrayal of her character. So, yeah, it shouldn't have swept, but that's my take. What's your take?
I agree with you on Good Will Hunting. Isn't this funny? Actually, comparing it to Wings and Sunrise, because Titanic is a big epic movie. It's just all encompassing kind of film, like Wings is, and it deserves stuff. And Good Will Hunting is a smaller story by comparison. It's more intimate. It focuses a lot on characters, which I think Titanic doesn't really focus on characters as much. I know that the whole point is Jack and Rose, but I feel like the character development is much better in Good Will Hunting.
For sure. And there's more character relationships in um, Good Will Hunting than just the one, right? That
Yeah.
I mean, we're watching Rose and mostly her relationships with Jack.
hmm
Um, but like, come on, with what is his name? Billy
Billy
Zane.
Zane.
Even with Billy Zane as the bad guy or whatever, like at no point am I ever like, oh no, what's gonna happen, right? But when I look at the relationship between um Will in Good Will Hunting
hmm
with um Robin Williams'
hmm
character versus his relationship with Ben Affleck's character. I mean, it's a very diverse, right?
Yeah.
And here's a character who is discovering who he is and who he wants to be, and if he can really allow himself to be who he wants to be.
Yeah.
And I really like that because um it's true to who people are, and I think in truth people are always constantly trying to figure out who they want to be if they're growing at least. And so I like that because that's what happens there. And there's a lot of funny things that happen in regard to it too.
hmm
And I always lean more towards comedy. But with that being said, Good Will Hunting is not a comedy.
No. No. Even with Robin Williams in it.
Yes. Um, more dramedy than anything.
Yeah.
But that's what I think should have been the winner that year.
I completely agree. I think it should have won. I'm just curious, why do you think it didn't win?
Honestly, the only reason I can think it didn't win is because they were new.
Yeah, probably.
They are like, who are these two new people? Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, writing pair, blah, blah, blah. And I remember everyone going crazy over this new writing pair
hmm
that no one knew. And I think they were afraid it would be an upset. Not in the same way,
Oh
but like
yeah.
people are going to be upset. Like, how dare these two newbies come in and win the first time?
hmm
Let's give it to James Cameron. He's been around for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so, like, there's some beautiful scenes. And, like, don't get me wrong, James Cameron does a movie well.
Yeah.
He does not skimp. And uh, I had the opportunity on my honeymoon to go to Ensenada where they actually filmed parts of the Titanic movie, and we got to see where they were out in the water, and we saw parts of the set, and they're not small.
Yeah.
And so, like, time, effort, realisticness, amazing. Story, simple.
Yeah.
Good Will Hunting story, more complicated.
Yeah.
Setting, simple. You're in a bar, you're in a place, you're in a town. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's not. So when you're looking at them production wise, one had a grand production. And so sometimes I think that's what wins it
Mm.
is the best picture. But I would like to see things kind of spread out a little bit more because, like I said, I think that's more true to how things really are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if I'm going to compare it to work, at no point at any job have I ever been to has one person dominated everything.
Right. That's a good
Because
point.
usually there's one person who's good at this, one person who's good at this. This is why we usually have teams. There's one person who might try to dominate everything, but usually there's one person who's like really good with the people schmoozing or whatever and really good with planning, and someone else is really good with numbers or whatever it may be, right? Everyone's good at something different. And I have a hard time believing that it's going to all one person.
Right.
So
Right.
I don't know if that makes
No,
sense.
I agree with you. It it feels like that means it's a perfect movie, that it knocked it out on all categories.
And if it's a perfect movie, then it should have won all the categories it was nominated
Yeah.
for then.
And the Titanic won 11 out of 14
Yeah.
nominations. So,
And I still don't know if I agree with it. But I remember being very excited for it because it was a new thing and it hadn't been done.
uh-huh.
And so that's exciting. So here I am saying I don't like it, but at the same time I did like it because I was like, oh, look, no one's ever done that before.
Right.
But
Yeah, I saw it in theaters. The first time I enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool, big blockbuster kind of film. And then I saw it again later in theaters, and I don't know, some things started sticking more out to me, and I was like, and I think the character thing was really it for me.
so let's jump back to 1960.
Okay.
Do you know what movies were nominated and what movie won Best Picture?
Yes, I know which one won Best Picture. I'll just go through the ones that were nominated. So, The Sundowners, which is a really good movie.
Is
Sons
that
and
the Marilyn Monroe one?
No,
Oh,
Sundowners is with Robert Mitchum, Deborah Carr, and Peter Ustinov.
okay.
It's this kind of epic Australian Western. It's weird, but it's good. Sons and Lovers, Elmer Gantry, The Alamo, and The Apartment. And the Apartment was the one that won.
Okay, so I bring this up because I'm not saying out of those which do you think should have won. I'm asking you, what movie was not nominated that you think should have been and should have won?
Very easily, that's Psycho.
Yes, why
Yeah,
is that?
because it was a better movie. I like The Apartment. I'm not going to say I don't. I do like it. I think it's good. We were kind of tricked when we first watched it and thinking it was a comedy.
It is not a comedy.
Yeah,
And I don't care what people say. It is a straight drama
yeah,
with a few comedic aspects in it. If this was happening in your life to you or a friend, at no point would you be like, oh, this is hilarious. I can't believe this is happening to you.
right.
You would be saying, oh my gosh, this is such a stressful situation. I mean, it deals with or attempted suicide, it deals with affairs. I mean, it's just all over the place.
Hmm.
And Billy Wilder, I think's the problem there, in the sense that when people hear the name Billy Wilder, they think he's so funny.
Right,
And
right.
he writes comedy amazingly well.
Hmm.
This is not comedy. And so I think when people, like we did, jump into this movie and they watch it and they go, that wasn't funny. There is humor in it,
Hmm.
but all in all, drama fest.
Yeah, the whole tone is dramatic, and it's good. I'm not saying it's not.
But Psycho's a drama fest
Well,
too.
so that we knew that going in. It's not like, oh, let's check out the new comedy Psycho.
He's just psycho. It's okay. I
uh,
wonder how that's gonna end.
so I want to be clear though. I don't think, at least for me, I'm not. judging The Apartment completely based on how I was surprised that it wasn't a comedy. I'm just I'm going off of the fact that Psycho is the better movie. Um,
Why is Psycho the better movie?
it comes down to a lot of things, but it comes down really to great directing and great performances for me. And when we showed this at Hitchfest last year, that was something that kept coming up with the great performances. And that's something I've noticed with the horror genre, that performances get kind of overlooked a lot. And you have to really believe these actors when they're playing someone menacing and when they're playing someone in fear. You have to really believe it. And I feel that sometimes these actors and actresses get really overlooked and in this genre. And in Psycho, which to be honest, I've never really seen Psycho so much as a horror as I've seen it as a drama with some horror elements to it. But it's a horror movie. And the performances are so good. Norman Bates is just fantastic because he's so charming and he's so likable, right? So much to the point that in a weird way, there are moments where you're like, well, I want him to not get caught, right? He does it, and that also is attributed to some just great direction and great editing. The movie is just edited so well, and so altogether, I think that's what makes it a better movie in my eyes.
Hmm.
So
So, would you say that comedies and horror movies are underrepresented? Underrepresented. Did underrepresented. How do you say it?
underrepresented did.
Underrepresented.
Yep.
Just sounds weird. Um, when it comes to Oscars.
Hell yeah, yeah. I think they are. There's only a few comedies that have won Best Picture. I can think. Uh, it happened one night, which is in 1934, and then I think the next one was Annie Hall in 1977. Um, and I don't know of any other real comedies since then that are just like straight comedies. Horror movies have been getting a little more noticed in the Oscar Best Picture category. Um, I think Parasite was one recently. And then Jordan Peele's movies have been getting some Oscar notice. And then of course Sinners just this year.
Hmm.
So I think they're getting some more, but these movies aren't like the typical. They're
They're
different.
not slasher
Yeah,
films, is what you're saying.
right. Which
Which I'm not necessarily talking slasher films either, but there's some really great performances from some people in some movies where y- maybe they're getting underlooked because now it's not considered art. So I guess the bigger question is what's considered
art.
art, and I guess maybe some people don't consider the performance art unless it's done in a dramatic way, and that's why you have to be in a drama in order for it to be recognized as something worthy of praise.
Yeah, you are totally right. The Academy, uh, I think, only sees the dramatic actor, and comedy's hard. I think comedy's the hardest genre. And
Mm-hmm.
you get somebody who can make the whole audience laugh. That's that's damn good acting,
Mm-hmm.
is what that is. And I don't think, like, I know it is not recognized by the Academy. I do think that's better represented in other award shows, People's Choice or Golden Globes, but not by the Academy, unfortunately.
For sure. We've talked about um quite a few films, and I kind of wanted to round it out with one more that you were pretty passionate about, which was 1994. And that was the year that Forrest Gump was nominated and won. And so the other two movies I know that were also nominated were Shawshank Redemption and Quiz Show. What else was nominated? Do you know?
Four Weddings and a Funeral and Pulp Fiction. And yeah, so as you said, Forrest Gump was the one that won all five of those. And this is a year where, I mean, just some really great movies came out that year. And they picked these four, and um, I've seen them all except for Shawshank Redemption. So yes, listeners, I of the thousands of movies that I've seen have not seen Shawshank Redemption yet.
I
And
have.
yes, Laura has. So I will be getting and receiving all of your shame on you emails. I plan on watching it. I really do. It's just one of those things where the reputation is so big, and I'm afraid that if I watch it with the hype in mind, I'm not going to give it its its due credit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I want to be kind of surprised by it and be like, "Oh, we're watching this," and then I can give it a fair shot. So I haven't seen Shawshank Redemption, but I have seen the other four. And of the other four, I do not think Forrest Gump should have won. I love Bob Zemeckis. I think he's a fantastic director. I really like Contact, and I really liked What Lies Beneath, and obviously the Back to the Future trilogy. Forrest Gump was not one of my favorites, although it is good. I do enjoy it. But for me, compared to Quiz Show, it shouldn't have won. Quiz Show, I think, should have taken it. It is a really great movie. What about you? What do you think?
Well, I agree that I wouldn't have given it to Forrest Gump. I would have given it to Shawshank Redemption. Which then kind of begs the question because maybe it was just split votes.
Mm,
You know, someone doesn't want to vote for Forrest Gump, they vote for Shawshank Redemption.
mm,
Someone else doesn't want to vote for it, and they vote for um, Quiz Show, and then Forrest Gump just ends up the winner
just edging
because
him.
who knows? I
Yeah.
mean, we aren't privy to that type of information.
Do you
That would
think
be
we
kind of
should?
cool.
Yeah.
Would be cool to be like, how'd you vote?
Yeah.
Who voted?
I mean, we know what the votes are like for presidential elections, so we should get the voting numbers for,
Breakdown.
yeah, for this. I think that's a great idea, because then we can be like, it doesn't really give an official first, second place kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
but it at least gives the audience the like, oh, well, look how close that one came, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
That would be kind of cool.
All right, Academy, get on it. Um, So with the Shawshank Redemption, I haven't seen it, but we're talking about earlier with there's the epic movies, and we kind of went with the more kind of smaller films. Um, the Shawshank Redemption, I haven't seen it, but is it kind of an epic movie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say so.
Do you think Forrest Gump is kind of an epic movie?
That's a saga.
Yeah, all on its own,
Yeah.
right?
So,
It's interesting. Um, I don't think Quiz Show is an epic film, but Forrest Gump is pretty big.
yeah.
And from what I understand, Shawshank is pretty big. Yeah, you don't think so?
I don't know what you mean by big.
Like it's kind of a sprawling story. It's just it encompasses a long
You're talking time?
well, not just time, but just scale of it. Um, you know, the breadth of characters and everything. Like I said, I wouldn't know, but do you think
I don't know. I don't, in my head, no.
no? Okay.
But maybe I just view it in a simplistic way.
Okay.
So, but like, whereas Forrest Gump is like over so many different decades and times and things. You have the war in there, you have Man on the Moon, I think.
Then you have the
You,
shrimp.
the shrimping, you have him going to meet the presidents, you have him going on a really long run, you have
The ping pong.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the ping pong. You have the ping pong thing. You you have him seeing Lieutenant Dan and he's got legs.
Mm.
Um a lot happens, right? And so it's a life story. Um it's memorable. There's some good things in it. I can tell you I haven't seen it I think since I saw it originally.
Oh, really?
And
Just
I
the one
think
time.
for me, well, maybe twice, but I think for me, what makes a movie so good is the fact you want to replay it, you want to watch it. And some of these movies are so vivid. So, Sunrise is a pretty vivid movie in my head. We talked about Sunrise earlier and how I would have given that an Academy Award. It's a pretty vivid movie in my head, but I like it and I want to visit that place again and to watch that story. Whereas Forrest Gump, I feel like I know that story, even though I guess I forgot the ping pong scene. But for the most part, I know the point of the story. I get it. I understand where they're going, what's the driving force, his relationship with Jenny, what it all comes down to, right? Um, and I've never found myself thinking, "Oh, I really want to go see that again," or "I want to visit that world again."
Yeah.
Whereas, um, Goodwill Hunting, I'd visit that world again, or Psycho, as you mentioned, even though it wasn't dominated, we've watched that one multiple times, and now here we are talking about the '94 one, and we've watched both Quiz Show and I've seen Shawshank more than once, and I'm sure you will too once you watch it.
Yeah.
But I think for me, it's the wanting to visit these worlds again and not feel, I don't want to say annoyed, but not feel complacent in the world. And so I feel like Forrest Gump is, I'm complacent there. Like, nah, I don't really care about the story anymore. I've seen it. It's
It's
done.
done. Yeah. Um, we actually, it's funny because we just had that experience again just last night when we watched The Lost Bus. That was a great movie, but it's probably the only time we're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
And
But that for me was more because of what the story
right,
matter
not
is, not because of, to me it's not an entertainment story. It's almost was like a documentary
yeah,
type story. And so it's like a one and done story for me. I saw it. It's not for entertainment value per se as so much it is to provide information to people about something that you weren't able to experience. And so it's a little bit different, but it's a one and done.
I agree with you with Forrest Gump. Although I have seen it a few times, um, but I don't know if I've seen it in its entirety every time.
Well,
Be-
do you have like 3 hours to
yeah,
devote to it?
but
I mean, it's long.
is it so? Here's the thing: is it because it was so impressive that it left that impression on you that you were like, I know this movie really well? Um, and then you take that versus another movie like Quiz Show, where it's also impressive, but you want to rediscover it all the time.
Hmm.
So, what like what does it for a movie? What in a movie makes you want to rewatch it?
Movie magic.
Yeah.
I don't I don't know if there's a rhyme or reason to it. Some movies just have it and other movies don't.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, I'm not saying Forrest Gump's a bad movie.
Hmm.
It was good. They
Yeah.
did a lot of things. They did some new things that I hadn't seen done before at that time when I had first watched it. Um, Watching so many different time frames and stories, and it was a new thing to me at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, was it done poorly? No. Was it a bad movie? No. Was it my favorite? No. And I mean, that's just what it comes down to, right? I watched all these movies. It's not the one I'd pick.
Yeah. And I don't know, had it come out at a different year, you know,
Mm.
and that's also kind of the thing when these people award movies, not just at the Academy, but like other award shows and other festivals and stuff. Something, and I don't know if there's really an answer to this, but do these judges are they are they voting on what they think really is just a great movie, or are they voting on what they think is just better than the other ones?
That's true, right?
Yeah.
So you could get 10 really great films and have a hard time deciding amongst them, or you could get 5 really horrible films and have a hard time deciding which one you think is the best of the lot of poop.
Hmm.
And so you kind of have to decide if you agree or disagree. I think this year was a year of really good films for them to choose from.
Yeah.
And like I said, it just isn't the
94, you're
one.
meaning?
Yeah, 94. I don't even know what's in the running this year for best film.
There's a lot we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta watch. Um, I'm looking up. You brought up, it was a great year. So I'm looking at, to me, 1993, the year prior, was also just a slam bang year. And so these are the top 10 grossing movies of 1993. Jurassic Park, Mrs. Doubtfire, The Fugitive, Schindler's List, The Firm, Indecent Proposal, Cliffhanger, Sleepless in Seattle, Philadelphia, and The Pelican Brief. What a year! What a crazy year of just great movies. And there's other ones on there that aren't listed too that I think are just as good. Last Action Hero was one for me. Um, but uh, yeah, it is sometimes just you you are just like, well, what's the best one of all of these, And it's hard. I'm not saying it's an easy job for the Academy um, to pick something, but sometimes I think it's more obvious what a better movie is. And the audience also sometimes needs to be, I think, taken in an account for this.
Well, that's why I really appreciate the People's Choice
Mm,
Awards. That's gotten a lot more traction and doesn't always agree with the Academy. And I really like that because it feels more honest to what the average Joe Schmo is feeling about things, compared to people who feel like they have to choose the pictures that are considered art.
right. Between Shawshank and Forrest Gump. So Forrest Gump has a pretty high rating on Letterboxd. Has a 4.2. And Shawshank has a 4.6. On IMDb, Forrest Gump has a high rating of 8.8.
Oh, that's really high.
Shawshank has 9.3.
So,
So it seemed like the audience is like,
Shawshank Redemption more.
right, where you look at uh the Oscar side, Forrest Gump won 6 Oscars. Shawshank won none.
Right.
It was nominated for 7, but it didn't win any at all.
But the people gravitate a little bit more to the Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I know the Oscars tried with an award. I forgot what it was called. It was Popular Choice or something like that. And I don't think they're doing that anymore.
No, it'd be kind of cool if you could like vote in.
If the audience could vote in,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
like you have to register in order to keep it somewhat like so you're getting a ballot in the mail.
okay,
Okay, and maybe it has a QR code so you can vote or something
nice,
like that, right?
yeah,
And then you get to vote. You only get to vote once, and it's done. And like maybe you have to pay a membership fee
I like
because
that.
in order to be part of the um, guilds and
Mm-hmm.
things like that, you usually have to pay a fee. It should be reasonable,
Mm-hmm.
you know. but you're getting to vote on all of the categories that everyone else voted on, and then they can say what it is.
I like
be
that
kinda
idea.
cool.
I think that's great, and I think that would encourage people to go see more movies.
For sure.
And let's do this. How do we do this? What do we do? How do we get in touch with the Academy? Because they could be listening. I don't know.
Dear Academy, contact us.
But I mean, like, what a great idea. Of course, then it's not strictly the Academy Awards, but still the audience choice, which is a common award in most festivals.
For sure.
So maybe they should have that. What a great idea.
Yes.
They should do that. Well, I think that kind of wraps up what we want to discuss. I do want to say that the aforementioned movies of Sunrise and Wings, we did show Sunrise a couple years ago at Gems, and it had a really great reception. The people that watched it, they thought it was fantastic because it is fantastic. And then this year, we're doing a silent film theme, and we're showing Wings this year. So if you're in the St. George, Utah area, May 15th and 16th, come check it out. So, and thanks for listening. We appreciate it. And as always,
That's our take.